Israel Adesanya criticizes UFC for attempting to whitewash Francis Ngannou's legacy. Former UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya has voiced his disapproval of the UFC's recent attempts to minimize the legacy of former heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou. In a promotional video released ahead of UFC 305, a segment featuring Adesanya's comments on the trio of African champions, himself, Ngannou, and Kamaru Usman, was edited to omit any mention of Ngannou, despite Adesanya's reference to him during a pre-fight press conference. Adesanya expressed his frustration with the UFC's decision, stating, "You can't erase France's legacy in the UFC. It's part of what we've done, it's forever in history, in stone, so trying to whitewash it or just not talk about it is silly." The UFC's relationship with Ngannou has been strained since his departure from the organization. Ngannou, who was outspoken about issues related to his contract, left the UFC to pursue opportunities outside the promotion, including his long-held dream of boxing. Since leaving, he has signed with the Professional Fighters League (PFL) and is set to make his debut against Renan Ferreira on October 19th, following a pair of high-profile boxing matches. Adesanya acknowledges the UFC's rivalry with other promotions like the PFL, but insists that it does not justify erasing Ngannou's contributions to the sport. "He's an integral part of what we've done in the UFC," Adesanya said. "Right now, I know there's competition between other promotions and the UFC in battles, but you can never erase history. The streets, the internet will always remember." Despite the UFC's stance, Adesanya remains supportive of Ngannou and is in regular contact with him. He expressed his admiration for how Ngannou is handling the recent tragic loss of his 15-month-old son, and is looking forward to seeing his friend return to the cage in October. "I'm happy for him," Adesanya said. "I'm happy for what he's doing. He just went through something that I would never wish on anyone. We've talked, I've checked up on him. Again, I respect Francis so much." Adesanya remains hopeful that the UFC will eventually recognize Ngannou's legacy, stating that he believes the organization will rectify this eventually.